Over 40% of immigration checks in 2026 are now triggered by data, not people, meaning you could be flagged without ever speaking to an officer. Sounds unreal, right? But this new system is already changing how enforcement works across the UK. What's even more surprising is that it's not just undocumented migrants anymore. Students, workers, renters, even people living normal, quiet lives, are suddenly finding themselves under unexpected scrutiny. So the real question is, who's actually at risk now? And could someone you know be on that list without even realising it? Let's break down the 10 shocking reasons behind this expanding crackdown. Number 10. People using fake or expired documents. It might seem like a quick fix, using fake papers or holding on to expired documents just to keep things going. But in 2026, this has become one of the biggest risks under the new crackdown. Why? Because enforcement is no longer relying on simple visual checks. Authorities are now using advanced biometric systems, digital databases, and real-time verification tools that can instantly detect inconsistencies. Recent policy updates show that even minor mismatches, like a name variation or outdated visa, can trigger a red flag. And once flagged, it's not just a warning. It can lead to immediate investigation, job loss, or even detention. What's more concerning is that many people don't even realise their documents are no longer valid until it's too late. Think about this. Have you ever double-checked the expiry date on your documents recently? Or verified if your current status still matches the latest rules? These small oversights can have serious consequences in today's system. The safest approach is simple but powerful. Always keep your documents updated, genuine, and verified. If you're unsure about your status, seek legal advice immediately rather than taking shortcuts. Because in this new era of enforcement, even a small mistake can turn into a life-changing situation overnight. If this opened your eyes, drop a comment saying "Stay informed." We read every single one because a lot of effort goes into these videos. And don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us keep bringing you content that truly matters. Number 9. Family members of undocumented individuals. This might be one of the most unexpected changes in 2026, and honestly, one of the most worrying. Even if someone has legal status, simply living with or being closely connected to an undocumented individual can now draw attention from authorities. It's no longer just about one person, it's about the entire household. With the rise of data sharing systems, authorities can now link people through addresses, utility bills, and digital records. That means if one person is flagged, others living at the same address may also come under investigation or questioning. And in many cases, this happens without warning. Imagine this. You're living your normal life, following all the rules, but suddenly there's scrutiny because of someone else's situation. It raises an important question. How much do you really know about the legal status of the people you live with? Recent enforcement trends suggest that officers are increasingly using address-based checks to identify patterns. This doesn't always mean legal trouble for everyone involved, but it can lead to stressful interviews, document checks, or delays in applications like visa renewals. So what can you do? First, make sure your own documents are always up to date and easily accessible. Second, understand your legal rights, especially if you're a tenant or family member. And most importantly, avoid assumptions. In this new system, awareness isn't just helpful, it's essential for protection. If this made you think twice, comment "aware" below. We genuinely read your thoughts because real effort goes into every video. And take 1 second to subscribe. That single click helps us keep bringing you content that actually protects and informs you. 8. Employers hiring illegally. In 2026, the spotlight isn't just on workers, it's now heavily focused on employers. Businesses that hire individuals without proper authorization, are facing some of the strictest penalties ever introduced. And we're not just talking about small fines anymore. This can mean massive financial losses, public exposure, and even business shutdowns. What's changed? Authorities are now using real-time verification systems that allow them to cross-check employee records instantly. Combined with unannounced workplace inspections, this makes it much harder for illegal hiring to go unnoticed. Even industries that traditionally relied on informal labour, like construction, delivery, or hospitality, are now under intense scrutiny. But here's where it gets serious. Even if an employer claims they didn't know, the law is becoming less forgiving. Businesses are expected to carry out strict document checks, maintain records, and ensure every worker is legally allowed to work. Failure to do so can lead to hefty fines per employee and, in some cases, criminal charges. Now think about this. If a company is investigated, it doesn't just affect the employer. Employees working there, even legally, may face disruptions, questioning, or temporary job loss during investigations. So this issue creates a ripple effect that impacts everyone involved. The smart move? Employers must implement proper verification processes and stay updated with changing regulations. And if you're an employee, always make sure your workplace is compliant, because in today's system, if being in the wrong place, even unknowingly, can quickly turn into a serious problem. If this gave you a new perspective, comment "Stay safe" below. We truly value your voice because real effort goes into every video. And don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us keep creating content that keeps you informed and protected. Number 7. People with minor criminal records. Here's something many people don't expect. Even a small mistake from the past can now come back in a big way. In 2026, immigration enforcement is no longer just focused on serious crimes. Even minor offences like unpaid fines, traffic violations, or small legal issues can now trigger immigration checks. Why is this happening? It's largely due to stronger data sharing between police and immigration authorities. Systems are now connected, meaning a simple police record can instantly be linked to your immigration status. What once stayed separate is now part of a single, powerful database. This creates a new level of risk. Someone who thought their past issue was resolved might suddenly face visa complications, delays, or even enforcement action. And the most surprising part? It's many people don't realise this link exists until they're already in trouble. Think about it. Have you ever ignored a fine or overlooked a minor legal issue? In today's system, even small things can carry bigger consequences than ever before. So what should you do? First, make sure your record is clean and up to date. Pay any outstanding fines and resolve pending issues immediately. Second, if you've had any past legal trouble, it's wise to seek professional legal advice to understand how it might affect your status. Because in this new environment, it's not just about avoiding big mistakes. It's about staying clear of even the smallest ones. If this surprised you, comment "Check your record" below. We read every comment because real effort goes into these videos. And don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click. But it helps us keep bringing you content that truly matters. Number 6. Asylum seekers with rejected claims. This is one of the most sensitive and fast-changing areas in 2026. Asylum seekers whose applications have been rejected are now facing a much quicker and more structured enforcement process. In the past, delays and backlogs sometimes allowed people to remain in the system for extended periods. But today, those gaps are closing fast. With new policies in place, authorities are using streamlined processing systems to track cases more efficiently. Once a claim is denied, individuals may be placed into a priority removal category, meaning decisions and actions happen much faster than before. This leaves very little time to react if you're not prepared. What makes this even more challenging is that many people don't fully understand their legal options after rejection. Some assume they can simply stay and wait. But under the new system, that approach can lead to detention or sudden enforcement action. Imagine receiving a rejection notice and not knowing your next step, while the clock is already ticking. It's a stressful situation, and unfortunately, it's becoming more common. So what's the best move? The moment a claim is rejected, it's critical to seek professional legal advice immediately. There may still be options like appeals or new applications, but timing is everything. Also, keep all your documents organised and stay informed about your case status. Because in 2026, waiting and hoping is no longer enough. You need to act quickly, wisely, and with the right support. If this made you think differently, do comment "Know Your Rights" below. We truly read and value every response because real effort goes into these videos. And don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us continue creating content that can actually make a difference. Number 5. Renters. Without proper documentation. Finding a place to live used to be a simple process. Pay your rent, sign an agreement, and move in. But in 2026, housing has become a key part of immigration enforcement. The UK's right-to-rent laws are now being enforced more strictly than ever, putting both tenants and landlords under serious pressure. Here's what's changing. Landlords are now legally required to check the immigration status of their tenants before renting out a property. And with new digital systems in place, these checks are faster, more detailed, and harder to bypass. If a landlord fails to verify documents properly, they can face heavy fines or legal action. But the real impact is on renters. Individuals without proper or up-to-date documentation may find it increasingly difficult to secure housing, and some may even face sudden eviction if their status is flagged during routine checks. And in certain cases, housing data can be shared with authorities, leading to further investigation. Think about this. What would you do if your housing situation was suddenly at risk, not because of missed rent, but because of paperwork? It's a reality many are starting to face. So what's the smart approach? Always keep your documents valid, updated, and easily accessible. Before renting, ensure everything is in order to avoid last-minute complications. And if you're unsure about your eligibility, it's better to clarify early rather than deal with consequences later. Because today, your home isn't just where you live. It's also part of a system that's watching more closely than ever. If this opened your eyes, and comment "Stay ready" below. We genuinely read every comment because real effort goes into these videos. And take a second to subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us keep creating content that truly protects and informs you. Number 4. Gig economy workers. This is one of the most unexpected groups now under pressure in 2026. Gig economy workers, like delivery riders, rideshare drivers, freelancers, and app-based workers, often operate independently. But today, they are increasingly being pulled into the spotlight of immigration enforcement systems. What's driving this shift? Many gig platforms are now required to carry out strict identity and immigration status checks before allowing someone to work. These checks are no longer basic. They're connected to real-time government databases, making it much harder for anyone without proper documentation to slip through unnoticed. In the past, gig work felt flexible and accessible. People could sign up quickly and start earning. But now, even a small mismatch in your documents can lead to account suspension, high loss of income, or further investigation. And since many rely on these platforms as their main source of income, the impact can be immediate and severe. Here's something to think about. If your account suddenly gets flagged or deactivated, do you have a backup plan? And more importantly, are you 100% sure your documents meet the platform's latest requirements? The smart move is to stay ahead. Always ensure your identity, visa status, and work eligibility are accurate and up to date. Regularly check platform policies because they are changing fast. And if you're unsure, Seek proper guidance instead of taking risks. Because in today's system, gig work isn't just about flexibility anymore. It's about staying fully verified, fully compliant, and fully protected. If this made you rethink something, comment "Stay verified" below. We truly read every comment because a lot of effort goes into these videos. And don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us keep bringing you content that actually protects and informs you. Number 3. Students who breach visa rules. Being an international student in the UK comes with opportunity, but in 2026, it also comes with stricter monitoring than ever before. Many students don't realise that even small violations of their visa conditions can now trigger serious consequences. So what counts as a breach? It could be something as simple as working more hours than allowed, missing classes, or even dropping out without informing authorities. What's changed is how closely this is now tracked. Universities are increasingly required to share attendance records, enrolment status, and academic activity directly with immigration systems. This means there's very little room for error. A pattern of missed classes or irregular activity can raise automatic alerts, putting a student's visa at risk. And once flagged, it can lead to visa cancellation, loss of work rights, or even removal from the country. Now ask yourself, if you're a student, are you fully aware of your visa conditions? And if not, could you be unknowingly putting your future at risk? The key here is awareness and discipline. Always stay within your permitted work hours, maintain regular attendance, and keep communication open with your institution. If you face any issues, academic or personal, it's important to inform your university immediately rather than going silent. Because in today's system, being a student isn't just about studying, it's about staying fully compliant every single day. If this helped you understand something important, comment "Stay compliant" below. We truly read every comment because a lot of effort goes into these videos. And don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us keep creating content that genuinely helps you stay informed. Number 2. Undocumented workers. For years, many people believed that if they kept a low profile and worked quietly, they could avoid attention. But in 2026, that assumption is quickly becoming outdated and risky. Undocumented workers are now one of the primary targets in this expanded crackdown, and the methods being used are more advanced than ever before. What's changed? Authorities are no longer relying only on tip-offs or random checks. Instead, they're using data-driven systems that connect employment records, tax information, and even digital activity. This means someone can be identified without ever being directly reported. Workplace inspections are also increasing, especially in industries like construction, hospitality, cleaning, and delivery services. These are sectors where undocumented work has traditionally been more common. Now, surprise inspections and on-the-spot document checks are becoming routine. But here's the deeper issue. Many undocumented workers accept risky jobs due to limited options, often facing low wages, long hours, and no legal protection. And under the new system, they're not just vulnerable to exploitation, they're also at higher risk of detention or removal. So what can be done? The most important step is understanding your legal rights, even if your status is uncertain. There are organisations and legal professionals who can guide you towards safer options or regularisation pathways. Avoid relying on false promises or unsafe work environments, because in today's reality, staying invisible is no longer a strategy. It's a serious risk that can change everything overnight. If this made you think differently, and comment "Stay aware" below. We genuinely read every comment because real effort goes into these videos. And don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us continue creating content that truly matters. Number 1. Overstayed visa holders. This is, without a doubt, one of the largest groups now at risk in 2026. And surprisingly, many people fall into this category without fully realizing it. An overstayed visa simply means staying in the country beyond the permitted time, even by a few days. But under the new enforcement systems, even a small overstay can quickly become a serious issue. What's changed is how easily this is now tracked. Immigration systems are increasingly automated and interconnected, meaning entry and exit records, visa durations, and even travel history are monitored in real time. There's very little room for errors or delays to go unnoticed. In the past, some people relied on system gaps or delays, but those gaps are rapidly disappearing. Today, overstaying can trigger automatic alerts, and leading to restrictions on future visas, fines, or even immediate enforcement action. Now think about this. Have you ever double-checked your visa expiry date recently? Or are you assuming you still have time? These small assumptions can lead to big consequences if overlooked. The safest approach is simple. Always stay aware of your visa timeline, set reminders well in advance, and apply for extensions or changes before it's too late. If you've already overstayed, don't ignore it. Seek legal guidance immediately to understand your options. Because in 2026, timing isn't just important, it's everything. If this video helped you see things clearly, comment "Stay Legal" below. We truly read every comment because a lot of effort goes into making these videos. And don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us keep creating content that keeps you informed and ahead. So here's the reality. Immigration enforcement in 2026 is no longer just about crossing borders. It's about data, systems, and everyday life. From where you work, to where you live, to even small details in your records. Everything is now more connected and monitored than ever before. What makes this shift so powerful, and honestly a bit unsettling, is that many people affected aren't doing anything extreme. They're students, workers, families, people living normal lives who may simply be unaware of changing rules. And that's exactly where the risk lies. But here's the good news. Awareness is your biggest protection. The more you understand how these systems work, the better prepared you are to avoid unnecessary trouble. Simple actions like keeping your documents updated, knowing your rights, and acting early can make a huge difference. Take a moment and think. Are you fully aware of your current status? Are your documents up to date? Could someone around you be affected without even realizing it? Because in this new environment, it's not just about reacting when something happens. It's about staying one step ahead. At the end of the day, this isn't just policy. It's about real lives, real futures, and real consequences. And the more informed you are, the more control you have over your own path.